Welcome to the Man United stream. Hope you're doing well. It is Thursday morning. I'm hoping this goes live straight away, but let's see and wait and see. Hopefully you are hearing me nice and well. It is the Man United stream. It is Thursday morning and we thought we'll bring you another live show. Drop another one for you guys because we've got news, transfer news from Man United and lots of other news as well. Actually, we've got takeover news. We've got other bits of news coming out from Man United. It's never a quiet time at Man United. That's what you have to realise as a Man United fan. It's never an international break where you can just simply put your feet up and go on holiday or something. You start thinking, oh, maybe I could have a day off. Maybe I could have a couple of days off, go off on holiday somewhere, come back rested and come back to, obviously, Premier League football. But that's never the case. Never the case. We have got constant news always at Man United, and it keeps us busy and it's entertaining. Actually, do you know what? It's really funny because even non-Man United supporters are always interested in what's going on at United, and it makes big news. It's big news and everyone wants to know what's going on because United, let's be honest, are the biggest club, not just in England but in Europe, right? Okay, hands down, they're the biggest club in Europe. Anyway, guys, let's jump straight into today's show. We've got lots to cover. I don't want to ramble on for an hour or two. I like to make these live streams as short as possible because I like to give you the news and be done with. But of course, sometimes you can't help it. There's lots to go through. But the biggest breaking news of today is, of course, on Adam Wharton. You've seen the thumbnail. You've clicked on trying to work out what it's all about. Well, apparently, we're getting news that United are going to make Adam Wharton their number one choice or number one priority in this January transfer window. Carlos Bleber has been shelved for now. We need to wait and see what happens with that. But currently, Man United feel, the people at United know that Brighton are not going to play ball. Not in January. They clearly want a lot of money for Carlos Bleber, despite his current form, which is not good. And then they don't want to sell him in the January transfer window, which is huge. We need a midfielder as quick as possible. We actually missed out in the summer transfer window. And Ruben Amorim, we're hearing from sources, is not happy with that. He was not happy by the fact that we missed out on a midfielder. He was not happy, and yeah, you can see it. Now we're missing a midfielder, and we're struggling in that midfield. Carlos Bleber, of course, would have been good if we got him, but now, since he's dropped off in terms of form, and his price is being, up there with, it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. 100 million plus for Carlos Bleber. I don't know if United will stretch that far. I think even United thought that in the summer they might be able to achieve a price of about 80 million with add-ons. That's what United thought that they could get him for. That didn't happen. And now they're looking at someone completely different. Actually, to be honest, they actually had already looked at Adam Wharton in the summer transfer window, but they didn't actually make a move for him. They were told by Crystal Palace that they're not going to sell him. They lie on the squad anyway, and Adam Wharton will stay at Crystal Palace. However, United now are going to make him their number one priority. That's what they want. They want Adam Wharton as the number one midfielder coming to United, and lots of fans are buzzing about it because he is someone highly rated. He's actually smashing it for Crystal Palace this season. Adam Wharton is Manchester United's number one priority target midfielder ahead of Carlos Bleber. We've heard that from a few sources now. This is Pete Hall. He's confirmed it. The paper, the I paper, he's confirmed it as well as a journalist. And the Statman Dave actually gave a really interesting facts on Adam Wharton. Actually, I'll bring it up on the screen because it's quite interesting, this. So we got this. Here we go. Adam Wharton is averaging 0.26 assists per 90 minutes in the Premier League this season, putting him in the top 2% of central midfielders in the tournament. Born in Blackburn, plays like he's from Barcelona. What a tweet that is, right? Okay, look, the guy is very good. He's solid. He knows exactly when to break up play, how to break up play, and when to push forward. He's not just showing his defensive awareness, but he's also very good going forward this season. So I've been watching him, and he's been bossing some of these games that he's been playing for Crystal Palace. He is in the form of his life. Maybe it's because he's heard that other clubs are interested, and his representatives have told him, look, you are highly sought after, and he's maybe increased in confidence. Maybe he's there thinking, right, I am like Statman Dave said, look, he's from Blackburn but playing like he's from Barcelona, and that's what he's like. Confidence gives you that ability to go and drive forward and play with just nothing, no stress, just go out there and play. And this young kid, he's going to break through to the England squad as well. I'm rating this guy. I'm really happy that United are pivoting towards Wharton, because I was already caught in two minds. I didn't really want to say, look, let's not go after Carlos Blaber, because I know he would make a huge difference to United as well. But I was secretly thinking Wharton could be the actual first choice here. Wharton could be the first one to go for, not only because his valuation is a lot less than Carlos Blaber. He's almost, you could argue, half the price of Carlos Blaber, but you're getting an equivalent player, almost equivalent player. I mean, yes, many people, critics say Carlos Blaber is really good with the carrying the ball forward. But this guy, this season, you've got to watch him. You've got to watch him. If you get a chance, watch a Crystal Palace match and you see what he actually adds to the team. And no wonder they didn't want to let him go. No wonder they were like, look, he's not going anywhere this season. We need this kid at this club, because without him, we're not gonna do well. And they were like, we can't even go out and find a like-for-like replacement. And yeah, I'm hoping that United can go and get this deal done. We are being told that he is the number one target United are going to go for in the January transfer window. But can they get it done? I mean, what would have changed from the summer transfer window and January transfer window between that and Crystal Palace? I don't think Crystal Palace are likely to sell. They have said already that, look, we're not selling Wharton during the January transfer window. We're going to wait till the summer transfer window. And the reason why they do that is because clubs, when they're selling in the January transfer window, know that there's no competition there. They haven't got many bidders. Not every club is interested in buying someone like Wharton in the January transfer window. They know that if they wait till the summer transfer window, that's when every club is sitting down, discussing transfers, discussing their budgets. They've worked out what they've earned for the previous year. So they know, right, okay, we've got this much budget to go out there and spend on a player. Then what that increases is competition. So they know that if you get a few clubs all interested in Wharton, of course, then that's likely to increase the price. The price is going to go up and up. It's going to start a bidding war, and that's exactly what Brighton are doing as well. So many people have questioned why Brighton would not let Carlos Blaber leave despite his poor form. He's actually not even featuring for Brighton in some games. And even the managers come out saying, look, his head's not right. His head's not right. So under them circumstances, why, you'd probably thinking, why wouldn't Brighton just sell him? Why wouldn't they sell him in the January transfer window? Why would you want to keep a player who's not fully focused and is clearly not playing well enough? Why would you not cash out on him as early as possible? Well, Brighton know that what they're going to get in the January transfer window is not good enough. It's not going to be competitive. There's not going to be clubs, other clubs who might be thinking of Carlos Blaber. They might not be able to join in the bidding war. Come summer, however, the summer transfer window, where you've got a lot more time to think about these, you've got a lot more time to negotiate, and Brighton then can get the very best offer from other clubs. And that's what they're after. They don't really care about where Carlos Blaber wants to go. Whether Carlos Blaber tells them, I want to leave and join United, they don't really care. What they really want is other clubs to join in on this bidding war. So if they've heard that Liverpool are interested, they want Liverpool to turn up in the summer transfer window and start bidding. I mean, start bids at about 100 mil, and United might be priced out immediately. That's why I think United have pivoted. They are looking at other options, and they've started looking at Adam Wharton as the number one priority. And I like that. I like the fact that United are thinking ahead. They're not just sitting on the laurels thinking, oh, we're going to get Carlos Baleba and that's it. We're going to wait and sit around and wait like we've done in the past. We remember the Frankie de Jong situation, that whole bloody saga that we were sat there waiting all summer thinking that we're going to sign Frankie de Jong, and then it transpired that he didn't even want to join United. This is the same situation we could have with Carlos Baleba. We're hearing from sources that he wants to join Man United. He wants Man United. However, we don't know. We don't know until we don't hear it from the horse's mouth that he wants to join Man United. We're all guessing. We're all guessing. We're all working on a source here, a source there, a report here that says that he wants to move to Man United. But he could have quite easily done that in the summer transfer window. He could have put in a transfer request, but he didn't do that. He didn't do that. I mean, of course, I think there was some financial consequences. If a player hands in a transfer request, I think they lose some kind of finance or some kind of down payment or something. There is something in their contract which really is not positive when it comes to handing in a transfer request. Clubs are alive to this situation. They've seen in other situations where players have turned around and handed in a transfer request, and it really puts the club in a corner, and they don't know what to do. So that's why now in modern day footballing contracts, and what they do is they try and negate that possibility where players can come in and hand a transfer request in and put the club in a position that the club really don't want to be in. So Carlos Baleba didn't hand in his transfer request. And in fact, he looked quite happy during the summer transfer window, training with the club, training with Brighton. And look, I'm happy that United have thought about this, realised that, look, we might be barking up the wrong tree here. We need to maybe look elsewhere. And Wharton is arguably, in some instances, well, we've seen what the stats are. We've seen that Wharton actually, right now, currently, he's playing better than Baleba. In fact, Baleba in some matches is not even playing. So right now, if you're looking at it on paper, if you wipe out the season before and you're looking at these two players, you would hands down go for Wharton. So the question I have to lots of Man United fans out there is, would you prefer Wharton or would you prefer Carlos Baleba? That's the question. Who would you rather have? I know what I'd be going after. I'd be going after Wharton and then deciding if possibly in the summer transfer window to go after Carlos Baleba. That's what I would do. Now, another player has been mentioned in this whole midfielder chat, and that is Elliot Anderson from Nottingham Forest. Now, yesterday, news was broken about Elliot Anderson being part of the discussion. Elliot Anderson, this guy, exclusive Indicator news. It was exclusive. Man United officials met CAA Stella, who are a world-leading sports agency. Elliot Anderson is represented by CAA Stella. Again, I don't know whether we need to look deep into this. I mean, is this news? I mean, look, first of all, Indicator is a bit of a Marmite news source. Some people really like it, like the news, what he gives, and some people are not too keen. They're saying, look, he's on fraud watch, I think there's some substance to what they report. I think some of the stuff that they've reported has been on point. And I remember them breaking the news of Carlos Baleba and that Man United were looking to make an offer for him and they were interested. That came out of nowhere because before then, no one was thinking about Man United even looking at Carlos Baleba. But it transpired that was true. United were considering making a move for Carlos Baleba and they would have gone in there with an offer if Brighton had given the green light to sell Carlos Baleba in the summer. Now, this one is Elliot Anderson, and Man United presented the long-term project to the player who will leave Nottingham Forest this January or summer. Now, the key words here, you've got to read everything and then double check what you just read. January or summer. Again, this could be another scenario where we've got Elliot Anderson not leaving in the January transfer window, Nottingham Forest holding on to him and then selling him in the summer transfer window where there's lots of other suitors who will turn up for this guy. It will not just be Man United on their own walking in saying, right, we're the only party, we're the only club that wants to sign this guy. So, give him to us for next to nothing. They're not going to do that. It doesn't work like that. There's lots of other clubs who are also now wealthy enough to come up and actually outbid United. So we need to be alive to that situation. We need to actually start speaking with these players and boxing them off very, very early. That's how things work. If you really want a player to sign for United, you need to get in there early and you need to start having discussions. You need to start telling them how important they are to United and their project going forward. Ruben Amorim needs to maybe sit down with them, speak to them. Even the people behind the scenes like Omar Barada, Jason Wilcox need to go in there, tap up these players, start talking to them, start telling them that United are looking at them and United want them, or at least through their representatives, let it be known that United are looking for you, looking at you, and they want you. So you need to give some kind of indication that you're willing to move the other way as well. You give a bit and we will then come and get you. So if we get a player to say, yes, I'm interested and only interested in moving to United, boom, that's it. That makes everything very simple for United, and United can go out there and sign someone like Elliot Anderson or Adam Wharton. Now, we're being told from sources, we've seen a few reports of this as well. So number one, it is Adam Wharton. That's the number one choice in the January transfer window. Then if they don't get Adam Wharton, they're going to try for Elliot Anderson. Now, if they don't get Elliot Anderson in the January transfer window, then a few other options are available and a few other names are being mentioned as backups to these two. And then once they enter the summer transfer window, everything changes. Then again, United will be pursuing Adam Wharton, and then of course, the name of Carlos Blaber comes into the equation. Will United go in for him in the summer transfer window, or will they stick with just one or two? I get this feeling that United probably want to sign two midfielders in between January and the summer transfer window. So it will be Adam Wharton, then it could be Elliot Anderson, or it could be Carlos Blaber, depending on who costs what and what current form they're in. Look, all three names are brilliant. All three players could do a job at United. My number one choice, of course, would be Adam Wharton. Adam Wharton, for me, is the guy who can control the midfield, can control everything. For me, it's Adam Wharton, guys. I mean, let me know in the comments below what you think about Adam Wharton. Let me know if you think that he isn't good enough. Let me know if you think that he's someone that needs to develop a little bit more, someone who needs to showcase his potential, or do you think we should just go in for him before he becomes an absolute beast in the midfield? Maybe we should go for him and get it done. I think we need to go and get these kind of deals done as quick as possible, rather than just waiting around, waiting to see whether the player develops into something else, and then it's too late by then. By then, number one, the evaluations go through the roof, and then other clubs will join the race. So we're not going to automatically have it our way. We need to have a situation where we're going out there, tapping up the players early as possible, and then knowing full well that we can then actually meet the evaluation. We can meet the evaluation and get it done as quick as possible. Now, let's move on to some other interesting news. Number one, how long have we been on? We've been on for about 18, 20 minutes. So, we've got time. Yesterday, the Golden Boy finalists were shortlisted and it was unveiled. So let me get that up for you. Because this was quite interesting. I like this. I liked seeing this. Let me see. Where are we? Here we go. Yeah, here we go. Look. So the Golden Boy 2025 finalists as 25 men shortlist has been unveiled. So the reason why I was interested in it is because we got Lenny Euro in there. And just yesterday, in yesterday's show, I was talking about how Lenny Euro is a top centre back, and we are lucky to have him at United. I'm telling you, we are overlooking this guy. In fact, we are downplaying how good he is. How good he is. And we've got to understand that we've got a gem of a centre-back at this club. He is potentially going to be one of the, if not the best centre-backs. He's so young right now, and he's so composed and so good at defending. You've seen him, the way he gets back, the way he makes those tackles. Absolutely brilliant. So I was really happy to see. Let me just check, actually, is there any more United players there on the list? Because the list goes on. There's a few names in there that we have been linked to buy as well. So this is interesting as well. So yesterday we reported on Joe Bellingham, how United might be interested in signing Joe Bellingham. So he's on that list. You got that. He's there. So then you got Yildiz, Kenan Yildiz. Now, this guy, this kid, I think most of Europe, all the top clubs in Europe are looking at him. All the top clubs want him. He's on their radar. There was talk of this summer, actually, there was talk about how United were looking at him, maybe making a move for him, but they didn't actually make a move. But that would be sensational if we could get someone like him. And then we go down the list, and Bergwall's on there as well. The Hatto's there. Yeah, so those are the names, and I found it really interesting. I was just like looking through it yesterday, and I was like, whoa, look, we've got Lenny Euro there. I quickly went through it immediately to see if there's any United players on there. But we're cooking, man. We're cooking with some signings. I like this. I like the fact that we've gone out there and we've started signing young, talented players like Lenny Euro, who hopefully can come good. And that's the big issue at United. In recent years, we've had young players come through, but we've just not nurtured them properly. We've not progressed them. We've not protected them properly. We've just put them in the deep end half the time, and we let them drown, and we can't have that here. We've got to protect our young talent coming through, and we've got to nurture them into being top players, and hopefully we can do that with Lenny Euro. I'm hoping, again, with Kobe Mainoo, things sort themselves out, because right now the noises coming out of the Kobe Mainoo camp are not very good. They still want to leave. They want to get up and leave in the January transfer window. I hope that's not the case. I really do. I hope that Ruben Amorim can see the light. I hope Ruben Amorim can see that, look, this kid is flipping brilliant. He's fantastic. He's one in a generation talent. We need to hold on to him. We need to keep hold of him and give him some game time. Give him some game time. I'll be really frustrated if come January he hands in a transfer request and wants out of United, whether it's on a loan or whether it's on a permanent move. You can't even blame the kid. You can't. He wants to play. You do not want to be sitting on the bench. If you're there thinking you're at the peak of your career right now, or you're getting there, you want to showcase your talents to the rest of the world. You know that the World Cup's around the corner. You want to get selected. The last thing you want is not to be playing football, not to be playing on the big stage and fighting for your place against the club captain. It's unfair. That's just unfair. Even Ruben Amorim surely can see that's not fair. And look, yeah, you might say, well, look, everyone has to fight for their place and everyone has to be good enough to play. But you're not going to drop Bruno Fernandes. We've seen that. We've seen Ruben Amorim play Bruno Fernandes despite him not doing good at all in matches. You've seen it. You've seen it yourself. We all know that when we're watching Bruno Fernandes thinking, how's he still on the pitch? How's he still on the pitch? And that's because Ruben Amorim clearly feels that he's still good enough to keep on the pitch when he shouldn't be there. Mainoo should be playing instead of him. But look, again, these are my opinions. You might have completely different opinion on Bruno Fernandes. You might be like, no, he's our club captain. He needs to stay out there. He can create chances from nothing. He is our number one assist machine. Why would you take someone off like that? He might not be producing the goods throughout the 90 minutes, but there are moments of brilliance from Bruno Fernandes, so that's why you keep those players on. I get all that. But there are moments where you just feel that he's counterproductive. You feel that his attitude, his mourning, he's just not happy, and we saw him missing the penalty as well against, I think it was against Fulham, was it? I can't remember now, but it was it? Yeah, it was against Fulham, I think. But yeah, things like that where he's just emotionally like really sensitive. What's all that about? How can a captain be that sensitive? For me, I think number one, we need to select a new captain. Maybe De Ligt, someone like that I think would be better, someone who can lead. And then I just feel, or even Kuna. Even Kuna would be good. I think we need someone mentally strong, someone who can hold their own when things are getting tough and we're not getting our way when it comes to the game and we're losing or something. But anyway, moving on to some other news. We're covering quite a lot of news here today. This is great stuff. I'm getting through a lot of stuff because I was hoping that I'd kind of reel through everything for you guys and give you all the news, all the updates in one show, and then obviously we can do shows later on which are a bit more detailed about maybe the takeover or something else we can do in a lot more detail. But this is just a quick news round, and the next news we've got is on the stadium. Now, we were discussing this yesterday. We were discussing how Man United are going to fund this stadium, and it's obviously linked to the possible takeover by the UAE investment group. We were discussing this in our show yesterday about takeover and why United need this investment. Why maybe the Glazers are looking at this time to jump ship. Why would they want out? Well, maybe it's because they have to fund this stadium. Maybe that's why they don't really want to be part of this project. Because, well, look, there it goes. Man United get a green light on a £2 billion 100-seater stadium. It's called the New Trafford. Yeah, you can see the pictures. I mean, I'm neither here or there. I think it looks all right. It looks nice. Looks distinctive. Clearly, the tent thing is what Jim Ratcliffe wants. I'm not quite sure. I've heard rumours that they might not be carrying on with that. They might not be carrying on with this whole look on the outside. They might just get rid of that because it might be costing too much money, and they might just give it a normal stadium look. I think the tent could work in one way because look, any of you who live around Manchester or around this region, you will know that it's constantly raining, and there's lots of match days when you turn up and it's just chucking it down. And this tent thing could be nice. It could be nice because then you can hang around the stadium without getting drenched. And you could because a lot of people do want to linger around, want to chill out, just hang around Old Trafford, take pictures, do things like that. And when it's chucking it down, the last thing you want to do is stand there. You want to get out there as quick as possible. So this tent thing, I think it could do well. It could do well. I think it could work. It could work. Now, Manchester United Stadium Breakthrough Club now optimistic. This was from Mike Keegan, and he said they've agreed a deal with the Freightliner company. There was some issues going on with a company right next. You can see it in that image. Actually, you can see it there. So there's this huge company, this Freightliner company, right next to Old Trafford, and that was a huge plot of land that United really needed to then go ahead and build all the new infrastructure that they'd got in the plans. And now we're hearing that there's been some positive discussions, and in recent weeks they've had some kind of breakthrough. We're not quite sure what that breakthrough will involve, whether it's some or part of the land or whether they're going to relocate them. It could be something positive. I'm hoping it is, and we can then go ahead to building a new stadium. Now, why this links into the takeover news is because we were discussing yesterday about how the takeover could be linked to this, because who's going to fund everything? Who's going to fund this stadium? It's going to cost in the region of $2 billion, but we know when it comes to buildings like this, you always go over budget. So you're looking more like £2 to £3 billion. Who's going to fund that? Even if they get private investment in there or they get loans, that's going to be huge in terms of what interest that they have to pay and things like that. And no one's going to just hand them £2 billion or £3 billion. And that's where the problems kicks in. I don't feel that Jim Ratcliffe will want to take this on his own head. Why would he? He's a minority owner. He's not going to be like, right, okay, I'm going to pay for everything. I'm going to pay for the stadium. So I think what he's been doing is I believe he's been talking to the Glazers about the new stadium, and for them to obviously invest. And we know one thing, that Glazers do not invest in Man United. They've never done it, and I don't think they're going to start anytime soon. So that's why I believe that the Glazers are probably looking at this point in time for somebody else to come out and buy their shares, and they can walk off without having to put down at least £1 to £2 billion in building this new stadium. This is the crunch moment. This is a big moment in the history of Man United, because this is the time where they're going to have a rebuild. Jim Ratcliffe clearly is pushing forward with it, which is good news. But the Glazers, now it's the moment we find out whether the Glazers are actually committed to the club or whether they're not. If they are willing to put forward the money and fund this rebuild, then we know, okay, they actually care about the club. But no chance, no way are they going to pay anything towards this. I think their favourite option will be to go out there and get some outside investment, even if it means not taking over, selling their shares to that investor. It might mean that, look, they have to pay interest in terms of loans. If there's any banks out there that can loan the money to Man United, and then they can repay that. But that's a huge amount of money. Now imagine the interest you have to pay. Imagine the stress you put the club under by taking this huge loan. And that's why you need someone wealthy, someone like these UAE billionaires to come in and take over. That is the news on that. So yeah, guys, that is it for today's show. I said I'll keep it nice and short, 30 minutes. Actually, before I finish, let's just go on this. Here we go. I was going to do this, so I came across this and I found it quite interesting. So if you were to choose one from the attack, one player from the midfield, one from the defence, one from the goal, and what choice would you make? Now, okay, so I'll do it first. So you can drop your comments below. Let me know on who you would choose from this. Hi Sanjay, how you doing, mate? Good to see you again, man. Good to see you. Good afternoon, everyone. Well done, Sanjay. Thanks for joining us. Sanjay, drop your comment as well, man. I'm interested in knowing who would you go for. Now, I'm going to let you know mine. And then whenever you watch this, you guys need to drop in the comments below who you would go for. Now, I'll choose from that attack. I'm going to go with Yamal. That might interest some of you. That might be like, what? Why is he going for Yamal when you got Vinicius there as well? But I think Yamal's just different. He's different, man. He's different. And then from the midfield, this is a hard one. But I would probably go with Caicedo. And he gives you the legs, it gives you the protection as well. And then in defence, it's got to be Hakimi, man. It's got to be Hakimi. He's just a complete player, isn't he? Complete player. Goes back, goes forward, does everything. He is just everywhere on the pitch. I mean, when I watched him against Barcelona recently in the Champions League, and he was so good. I was astonished at what he was doing. He was playing right back, left back, right wing, left wing, striker, everywhere on the pitch. You just moving everywhere. And then goalkeeper. Well, this is an interesting one, isn't it? Onana, Martinez, oh man. Do you know what? I'm going to make a controversial choice here. I'm going to go with Martinez. You might find that crazy, but I think he's good. I know we've got a decent choice there, but Martinez for me. Drop your comments below on who you would choose from this lineup. Who would it be? Yamal is very arrogant. Yeah, I know, man. That's the worst thing. Do you know what? There's one thing. I look at Yamal and I think Sanjay said that. Sanjay, do you know what? Yamal. I look at Yamal and I think this kid could be something great. He could go on to become one of the best players in the world. But I feel like he's going off the rails. At this young age. Someone needs to get hold of him and say, what are you doing? Stop partying. Stop going out. We're seeing all these pictures of him partying and going out and doing things, and it's not a good look. It's not a good look. What you want is someone to put the arm around him and say, you need to focus on your football. You've got everything at your feet right now. The world of football is at your feet. Literally, this guy could go and become the next top player. We're talking about Ballon d'Or possibly this year for Yamal, but he's just getting a bit ahead of himself. And he needs to check himself. Someone needs to check himself. Someone needs to say to him, look, you need to sit down and start playing football. Do not get up to any other crap off the field. And he needs to be a bit more humble. And I agree with Sanjay. So Sanjay said Caicedo is really good. Yeah, Caicedo is class, man. I mean, Musiala, I was torn between him and Musiala. Musiala is also very, very good. But I'm trying to go for a bit of a balanced team here. So if I was picking 4 players from this, and I'm thinking, right, I want them to do everything. If it's 4-a-side football, shall we say, yeah, and I want them to be doing everything, I would probably go for Caicedo, because I'm still thinking he can still carry the ball forward, but he's very good defensively. And then you got Hakimi again. I like these Hullet type players, just complete players who can do everything, not just going forward, but also defensively. And Hakimi is that. And then I've gone with Martinez because I think my choice would be Martinez. I'm sure you'd probably disagree. And there might be some of you who might even choose Onana. Maybe not Man United fans. But I think there'll be lots of other fans who might choose. Let me know anyway. Let me know. So Sanjay's gone with actually, Sanjay, you didn't even tell me who your striker would be, but you've gone with Caicedo and you've gone with Hakimi. So let me know who your striker will be out of Yamal. So you've said Yamal is a bit cocky, a bit arrogant. So would you go with Vinicius or would you go with Osimhen? Again, 2 very good. I mean. Vinicius would be good as well, wouldn't he? Vinicius would be so good. I'm just going with Yamal because I just feel like he's just... watching him play against Barcelona the other day, and he just absolutely destroyed Nuno Mensch. And I was like, what? How could he do that to one of the best left-backs in the game right now? You would go for Vinny. Yeah, I think, yeah, that's not a bad choice either. I would go for either Vinny or Yamal. Very close call, isn't it? Not seen much of Vinny this year. That's the only issue I've had. But he's a class player. But yeah, I think it's fairly straightforward. I think that you got Gabriel there in the defence as well. But no, I wouldn't. No way. Hakimi's way ahead of him. So that's it, guys. That is it for today's show. Make sure you hit the like button on this video. Make sure you subscribe. It doesn't take long. It just takes a little click and you can subscribe. We'll try and bring another update show for you today or later on tomorrow. Of course, we're looking forward to the massive game on the weekend against Liverpool. We're going to be doing a preview show tomorrow. On that, we're going to be discussing everything about Liverpool, the current injuries that they have, the players that might be not available for them, the players that might be available for us, and who will Ruben Amorim start with? Will he go with Mason Mount again ahead of Kuna, or would he start Kuna? It's a big question mark. And again, in the midfield, are we going to go with Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes? Will we be able to lock out this Liverpool team that are going to be out for revenge? Not just because of us, but just out because of what they've had to deal with in the last 3 games. They've lost 3 games in a row. Not good news for them. And they will need to prove to their fans at home at Anfield that they still got it. And they're going to be out for blood. And unfortunately, United are going to be in their way. But can United actually do something this time? Can United get their back-to-back wins? Would it not be great to see Ruben Amorim get his first back-to-back win against Liverpool away from home? It's never easy. Anfield is an awful place to go as a player. We've heard it from many players of United, especially when they've gone to Anfield. They get a lot of abuse. They don't like it. They don't like playing there. So it's going to be a hostile environment. But can these players actually do something for us. If they do, it will be one of the best results under Ruben Amorim. Really, really hope that everything goes well. Of course, we're going to do a preview show. We're going to discuss all that tomorrow, and then on the weekend, we'll bring you any further latest news after the pre-match press conference from Ruben Amorim. So, guys, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. You're watching the Man United Stream channel by the fans, for the fans. Goodbye.